Hey folks, Rod from RK Auto Detailing. It's been a hot minute. RV season's over here. Been working on winterizing, getting stuff tidied up out of town on RVs. Got some polishing on some next year, hopefully moving forward more. And being transparent, I do drive semi truck 60 plus hours a week. Therefore, that ramped up. I've taken on more territory. So I am, started this YouTube channel and I started my detailing as a side hustle. Therefore, it still is. One day, yeah, I'd like to do this full time. We're doing the side hustles. I'm driving truck because our goal is in the next 3 to 4 years is to be debt free. That's house mortgage, personal debt, all that jazz. So we can invest more financial into the businesses and in our investing. Therefore, just keeping busy right now. So been spread kind of thin. I've got some ceramic coats coming up. And the one I've got in the garage right now is my personal Ram pickup. I said I'd do a little bit more on that. So I got started this morning and then paused and said, shoot, get the camera out and sling it here real quick. So we're going to do that. So I have taken the wheels off it. And I have not ever, in nearly 12 years of having this truck, ever polished this. This thing's got scratches, dents, and everything like you can't believe. All I've ever done is probably a spray wax on it. So I was just getting ready to put the tire back on, and I realized, hey, I should sling the camera before I get everything buttoned back up. So what I had done is, I'll go around to the other side. I got the Super Shine in the spray gun, and I'm detailing the suspension. I greased it. I'm rotating the tires. You can see my golf cart's next after this. And we had just finished, I didn't video this, but we added, when we built this, it was a stock golf cart, and now it's got a total of 8 inches on it. The only thing I want to do next year is put like a traction or ladder bar on that. When I go to stop, that axle has a tendency to want to roll up a little bit because I got so much lift on it now. But I put re-arch springs, coilover springs, lift blocks, heavy duty re-arch springs on the front, new rack and pinion tie rods. I've rebuilt this whole front end. Everything's new on the front, including the steering shaft. So for a later date, that's a fun little toy at the campground. So what I had done is we had built this truck. So let's sit down and have a discussion on this. So this truck, because I'm going to point at the front axle here, this is a rebuilt salvage titled truck. I'll reveal that. I can't hide it because if I go to sell it, the title's already, tattooed in red. The original owner had hit a culvert, from what I was told from my friend Adam, and he peeled everything back. I've yet got to find where anything's been repaired. I only found one spot down in the middle of the frame, a cross member. But other than that, the truck tracks straight. He straightened everything out. And when I got it from him, he said, if you find it, I'll give you a discount, this and that. And so anyhow, I've never been able to find anything wrong with this. It tracks straight, it aligns straight. And I've had this truck for quite some time now, over a decade. So we went ahead then and put the 6-inch lift and put the full 6-inch struts. Got the stabilizer bars here going to the front. I put the drill slotted roaded pads, ceramic pads. Redid the brake fluid with AMSOIL, top end, their high end brake fluid. These Rams, a couple things with these Rams, the brakes are always spongy, don't grab very well. One thing about Ram or Chrysler is they use, as the one guy with helping me with the transmission, he said their fluids, they just pretty much melt sneakers and just take liquefied melted sneakers and pour it in as fluids. So they go cheap. And so I drained all the fluid out, put that in, and that made a tremendous difference pulling a 40-foot travel trailer. The other thing we did is underneath. So got a Mag high-tech pan. We did pull the transmission. And I had a custom built torque converter from Precision, and it's a single billet disc, clutch disc torque converter. Torque converter is about as much as transmission, but that's the weak link on these Chrysler transmissions in these trucks. Torque converters are total tinfoil garbage, and the transmission itself, it's great. There was no problems with it and all that jazz. So we just put front and rear main seals in and put torque converter in. The big thing is under the hood. Then we bypassed and put dual Hayden 20,000 pound trans coolers. So that's got big boy trans coolers in it. And I went from towing my 22-foot, 5,500 pound travel trailer at around 220 degrees on the trans temp. Now I can pull a camper that's 40 foot at 10,500 pounds at 163 degrees on average. Now, we did pull the axles off twice. The front once, the back one twice, and we'll go over that next. So, drive shaft's got Spicer U-joints, heavy duty U-joints that are greasable. So we'll get back here. Obviously upgraded the brakes. I've got from Airlift out of Lansing, Michigan, is their 2,000 pound heavy duty pads. I had the 1,000 pound. They blew on that 40-foot camper. It blew them as soon as I dropped it down on them. Just right out. Put these in, but it wouldn't level the truck. It still sagged. So now I have these convoluted airbags, and I'm on the passenger side. And as you can see, there's the air compressor, and it will self-level. And it has a wireless remote up in the cab where I can adjust the height in the back up or down, whether I'm standing outside or sitting in the truck. So if the trailer was going on the road and the front was porpoising too much, I can adjust it on the fly. The other thing I did, I got with Core 4x4 out of Salt Lake, and I had them do these heavy-duty upper and lower track bars. Greasable, but the key thing is they got 2.5-inch Johnny joints. So, or Heim joints. And as you can see over there, I went all heavy duty on that. The first thing people say is, why didn't you get a 3/4 ton? Because I couldn't afford it at the time. That was for another time. Discussion on my channel, The Self-Educated Entrepreneur. But this is what you could afford back then, is on our budget. So that's the Panhard bar. That's all heavy duty. Mag High Tech. If Banks makes that cover, I'm gonna change over Banks. He did a good job with these differential covers on their research. So the other thing is, to pull that, this originally came with 355 gears. So, okay, had to stop the video and UPS was here. So, this rear axle's been out twice. Front one once. First time we went camping up by the Canadian border, the pinion bearing went out in 2015 and had to have it done up there at a dealership. pinion bearing, just to have that replaced. And all new bearings, carrier bearings, pinion bearings. We just had it all done because there was so much metal in there. It took the cage and everything out. So, getting ready for the 40-foot travel trailer. We pulled it back down. Actually, this has been out 3 times. I knew there was 3 times. And funny as it is, boy genius here. So put the pinion bearing on the 355s. Then I said, all right, we're getting the 40-foot. I got to do something different. So Mike at Kaz Transmissions in Northern Grand Rapids, he and his son Josh helped me out. We set this up. This has 456 gears from Yukon. The first time we built these axles, I put a helical Detroit locker in it. I put a full off-road locker. Thought it'd be cool. Thought it'd be great. Mike said no. His son said, if you let off the gas, it'll be fine. My dad don't know what he's talking about. And it was, because it came back to bite me a year later. Went to go camping, turned the corner, and the locker did not unlock and busted it. Because I got a 1,400-pound tongue weight pushing down on this. So she wouldn't unlock it. It went. So take it back, pull it apart, and I said, this time, let's go through it. So the only thing original is the carrier, or the whole housing. The housing is Chrysler. Everything internal is all Yukon now. I went with the high-end Yukon axle shafts, bearings. I went with a clutch pack, like a limited slip, and the 456 gears, heavy-duty pinion, all that jazz. And she's all set, and I haven't had a lick of problems since. But when I went up there to sign off for them to do it, Mike was laughing. He goes, and I told you so. And yes, you did. And yes, I learned the hard way. So, that's done, but I haven't had a lick of problems. It tows great. You may ask, RPMs down the road and all this and that. Remember, I've got 36-inch tires on this. If I was running a stock suspension and stock wheels, or stock tires, I would have just gone with 410s. Because of the taller tires and the lift and all that jazz, I built the truck unbeknown to me that I would ever upgrade to a 40-foot travel trailer. That came after the fact, because I was having fun building it at the time and just getting it together. So there's more to come, but the biggest piece of the puzzle is everything that's under the truck that you don't see is where all the money's at, between all the rear suspension, the air ride, and all that jazz. So we'll pause here and we'll take a look under the hood for a few more things. Let me just, before I come up, as you can see, I got dual exhaust. And you'll say, yeah, catback. Better than catback. There's my mufflers. And it is true dual exhaust. That one goes over there and up. And that one goes right up. Sorry, right there. And that one goes up over there, as you can see. So, not catback, but the cats are up there off the engine. All right. So right there, and there are your Hayden coolers in series in front of that. And then I did put the Ram Air on it. And I went with, if anybody was to ask, I did go with the BBK headers. I did have a manifold leak. I had a bolt broken, one on this side and 2 on the other, and I extracted them out myself by welding a nut on the end of the stud and was able to extract them. My wife was flipping the hood and turning the welder on and was impressed that, I said, that's just an old school trick in welding. Being I used to be a former certified welder back in the mid 80s. But traits I should have hung on to and kept doing instead of the path I'm on now. But the headers, dual exhaust, ram air. Now my intentions are, if I stay with this truck for the next couple years, I'd like to just pull the motor. And whether or not I stroke it to a up to a 390, which they have a stroker kit for these, I'd like to just blueprint and balance this thing. And balance, I mean the bottom end, forge crank, forge rods, forge pistons, port and polish the heads, have them flow checked, and make sure they're balanced on each side for the CCs in the chambers, so they're both milled to match the CCs and all that, just to make sure everything's balanced. On the airflow, I like to run around, well, if I run it naturally aspirated, about 10 and a half, 10.6 to 1. Otherwise, I'm going to use that Edelbrock E-Force blower on it. So that's my long-term goal. The engine's the last link of things I want to do to this mechanically. And I would like to upgrade the struts eventually. Rough Country does have the the reservoir struts to stiffen or soften the ride on these. So these are just a standard 6-inch that came with the lift. The other thing I'd like to do is redo the interior to a leather. So something like out of a limited. But so that's pretty much it. I have done the only thing I've done to this, I haven't tuned it or anything. Oh, fan, as you can see right there, there's no, I put electric fan in. I did do the mechanical fan delete, and I put the V6, I think that's the 6-blade fan on there, and it is plug and play and works great. And I've towed the camper with it, and pretty much runs normal like 205 while I'm towing, which is normal for that Hemi. Other than that, that's it. So one last thing. Trying to get in here. I know it's a pain. That is the current miles. Push the horn. This truck had 18,000 miles on it when we got it done, built and road ready. And that's what I put on. I put about 46,000 miles, 46, 48, not even 50,000 miles on it in the last 10 plus years. So it gets driven about 4,000 or 5,000 miles a year on average. It sits in the garage. I know it's a garage queen, but I built it. We bought it and we built it to tow the camper, go camping. That was it. It's not a daily, it was never intended to be a daily driver. My car out in the driveway, that's what I drive to work, because when I go to get in the semi, the car's sitting in the parking lot 4, 5, 6 days a week. Why in Sam Hell would I have a nice truck sitting in a yard with semis going by, kicking up dirt and dust and everything, and sitting in the sun all week, not being driven? So I take this out on the weekends. We take cruises with it, all that jazz. So the next thing I want to do besides that interior, that's the only thing I want to do in the interior, is just, I'd like to change it up to leather. Heated power seats, both sides. Only the driver's side has it because it's a Bighorn package. But I want to take the plastic liner out, put a Raptor liner in it, spray it. And that's probably it. And then, tunnel cover. I want to get rid of the soft tunnel cover and go with a hard shell tunnel cover on the back. So that's about it. There's not much left for me to do to this truck. I'm pretty satisfied with it. Right now we put off putting any more money in this because I've got so many things coming, and that's why I haven't been able to get too much of these videos out. This weekend I'm going to do, after I get the wheels on, because I'm detailing the underneath, I am going to repaint the rear axle from a lot of the chipping and flaking on the back. I sanded some of that areas down, and I'm going to readjust the airbags, the convoluted big airbags on the back. There is a spacer for that. That is pushing on the joust stoppers. So from airlift, here's the other spacer. So right there, you can see they got 2, 4, and other spacers to go between the bag and your frame. Right now, that spacer is pushing that bag down so hard that it doesn't give much flex. So she'll buckboard pretty good. So, and if I could get some heavy duty springs, I'd sell this bags and springs together and just put in some nice heavy duty springs and just get rid of this. But once they're in there, they're just an SLB to get out. But I just run about 10 pounds in these just to keep air in them so they don't get pinched in the springs. But I don't even use these. They're just sitting there on standby. So that's that on this Ram. If I had deeper pockets and more discretionary money to spend on it, I would. But right now, if the opportunity came, and I would say that, if someone was to walk up and give me an offer on this, I wouldn't even bat an eye. I'd write the title off and sell it. And only reason is because I know at this point in the juncture of life, I need a 1-ton, single wheel or dually, either or. But I just want to go right up to a 1-ton. I'm tired of playing around, because every time I need to tow something, I'm always under, as far as like too small of a truck for everything I want to do. But this is a fun truck. It drives great. This truck sits on that side of the garage all year. There is not one oil leak from axles, trans, motor, power steering. There is no oil leaks on this whatsoever. And this truck gets, because I'm an AMSOIL dealer, from bumper to bumper, it's got AMSOIL in it. Trans, motor, power steering, brakes, differentials. So everything's, this truck's well taken care of. But, right now I'm just trying to get this ready to put this, because I'm actually going to put this in a remote storage for the first time to free up the shop for more detailing this year. And coming outside, so this is my window on my garage. I want to take that out. I've got spare siding. I'm going to side this over and replace some of the broken siding on here. But that's basically another project before the snow comes. So I've got many projects, and it's just I definitely need another me around here to help get this stuff moving. With fall here and the winter coming around the corner, it's just I'm trying to keep up with things and being out on the road. And when I'm out on the road, it's it's tough to have the time and energy to get back and jump on this stuff. So that all said, just wanted to go over this Ram with you. That there is my new snowblower. Actually, a guy that used to own a Sears store. He cut me a deal. He said Sears independent stores went out of business. When Sears went out of business, the independent stores went out. He was still sitting on inventory. He had the display one up in the showroom, and he said, I got a brand new one in the box. And to be honest, I want to say that snowblower, brand new, I think it's a 26 inch. Like it's a 2-stage, it's a big boy, but that was cheaper than one tire. So if you know those Duratracs, then you'll know that was way cheaper than that tire, by far. And I couldn't pass it up, so I went down and picked that up. But what we're going to do to this is I'm detailing the underside, painting, going to adjust the airbag. I'm rotating the tires, get those on. I want to extract and shampoo the inside. I've never touched the interior other than a vacuum. I have never done anything to this truck. There's no paint protection on it. There is no interior. This truck has just been all summer. I just washed this truck this last week for the first time since spring. This truck has sat in my garage. I think I've washed it once over the summer, but this truck has sat all summer in and out of the garage, going to the campground, doing things, pulling the golf cart down there, stuff like that. So just wanted to let y'all know. But yeah, if you like the truck and you're interested, reach out. Yeah, like I said, the right offer, I'd be more than happy to sell it. I definitely need to upgrade, but I'm not going to give it away. Put it that way. Even though it has a rebuilt salvage title on it, I can tell you with the low miles on it, and I've got all the receipts on this. So everything and anything that's been done to it, I do have a receipts, and they're jam packed in a big manila envelope. So it goes, other than gas receipts, it goes unsaid that I kept all the receipts on this, and for one day when I can pass that on to the next owner. So until next time, I'll sling the camera and try to dial you in. I plan on doing a cut polish and a paint sealant on this. I'm not going to ceramic this because there's a few dents and stuff I like to get worked out on this if I can find a good dentless guy. But because it sits inside more than it's outside driven, I just don't see the value of putting a ceramic coat on it because it doesn't get driven in the salt. This truck, since I've owned it, has only seen one winter, and that was 10 years ago. So one winter, that's been it. And I think it sat for 2 years before it got into the shop on the frame alignment, frame straightening rack, and all that. So this truck has sat way more and has been driven, as you can tell. It's a 2010. It's 13 going on 14 years old with 66,000 miles on it. So I'll catch up with you folks when I'm in the process of doing the interior and exterior. So I'm going to get this suspension dialed in and the tires put back on.